What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In today's video, we are jumping into Absolute Green Lantern issues 1 and 2. This story is going to be following Hal Jordan. It's going to be following Joe, John Stewart, Guy Gardner. As we've seen in the Absolute Universe, things are very different. We've already seen Batman, The Flash, Superman, the way their lives have been altered, changed. Complete origins rewritten into something new. When it comes to the Green Lantern Corps, it is no different. And while we know Hal Jordan as one of the greatest Green Lanterns to have ever existed, we also know the evil that has possessed him. And in this universe, Hal Jordan is the Black Hand. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so we pick up with Hal Jordan, right now walking on the side of the road in the desert. He is terrified right now. Everything that just happened, he's trying to make sense of it. He doesn't understand what's happening to him. But when a police officer pulls up on him, he tries having him go away. The cop's like, "What are you doing out here in the middle of the desert? You're walking, no food, no water. It looks suspicious." And so when he tells Hal to pull your hand out of your pocket, Hal's refusing to do so. The cop draws his gun. He assumes that Hal has a weapon in his pocket, and Hal tries to explain himself. He says that he's Hal Jordan, that he's from Evergreen, but at this point, the cop doesn't want to hear it, saying that something happened. Someone by the name of Abenzor. Hal Jordan finally pulling his hand out of his pocket. We don't see what happens. All we see is that cop is gone. His badge lay on the ground. And Hal Jordan walking off, apologizing. With Hal Jordan making it a little bit down the road, he gets himself to a diner. While he sits in this diner, they turn on the TV, an emergency broadcast. Helicopter coverage from Evergreen, Nevada. What we see on the screen is a giant Green Lantern symbol, crushing buildings, cars. No idea if people are dead, how many may be wounded. Right now, everyone's trying to figure out what the hell is happening. This is what takes us to 5 days ago. We pick up with Joe, Hal, and John Stewart. In the Absolute Universe, they're all friends, to include Guy Gardner, but none of them are lanterns. They're just regular people. But the three of them, they're just catching up. They're talking about everything going on in their lives, the things that they're doing, so on and so forth. When a gang of motorcycles comes through, one of them is a little bit behind, hauling butt through the town to catch up. The motorcycle never saw it. The giant lantern symbol crashing down onto the ground, and the motorcycle crashing directly into it, splattering all over the side of it. Hal rushes out, saying that somebody has to help that guy. As they look around, they think that this has got to be some kind of dome, that it curves around. And as they look up, they're not sure what they're seeing until they see him. Abenzor is here, alive in the flash and fully powered up, picking up with Hal Jordan in present day. Still in shock, he is telling these people that he was there. He saw a man by the name of Abenzor. Not really a man, a being. He came from somewhere else. The symbol in the sky belonged to him. He called it the Green Lantern. Hal Jordan really becoming flustered with the whole situation. He goes to leave, but a man tries to stop him, believing that Hal probably had something to do with this. When Hal mentions a police officer, they try to stop Hal from leaving, but when they do, his hand comes out of his pocket, and Hal, unable to control this, the man that grabbed him turns completely black, completely devoid of any color. Hal is unable to control it. The hand wants to hurt. He's trying to protect people, but it responds to danger. When the waitress pulls out a pistol and shoots him, the entire restaurant feels it. With Hal Jordan being shot in the ribs, thinking to himself, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe this shot will kill me, will kill this thing. But what we see is that his hand heals the gunshot wound. This black hand is not gonna let Hal Jordan die. This is where we see Joe arriving at the door, the Green Lantern aura surrounding her, and coming to ask Hal Jordan what the hell happened. Taking us to the next issue, Hal Jordan is saying that you look just like Abenzor. Like, what did he do to you? But even she has no idea. Hal was there though. He knows everything that she does. She is beginning to hear things, to see things. She's feeling something pull at her. Something was leading her here. They're both trying to figure out what the hell this black hand means. Looking around, seeing like he said he was feeling threatened, but is that what happened here? And Hal swears that he tried to hold it back. Willpower has nothing to do with making this thing work. He has used all his will, all of his might, trying to stop the Black Hand from doing anything. They don't know the rules here. Like, you remember what happened to John. You remember what happened to Guy Gardner. That's what takes us back over to Evergreen. Abenzor begins to speak to the people. He has come to them from the Green Lantern, that he exists at the level of green light. He tells them to be without fear. This is where we see Guy Gardner, Sheriff of Evergreen. He comes up and he tries talking to him, tries having a conversation, but Abenzor says that judgment will commence. He tells Guy Gardner that you are currently an entity that exists outside of the spectrum of light. To be without fear. Be entirely without fear. Now, they don't really understand anything that is happening here. Guy Gardner tries to de-escalate the situation. He tells everybody to put their guns down. He tells Abenzor that we don't understand, that we do not have an understanding, but he's wanting to know, what do you want? What can we help you with? That's when we saw the giant blast of light. Guy Gardner hit with it. Everyone started screaming. Guy Gardner had been judged. The police, they began to open fire. Abenzor shields himself. The bullets simply ricocheting off, hitting nearby civilians. Those that open fire on him, Abenzor slices down, cutting off heads, ripping people's hands off. Seeing all of this chaos, Hal Jordan picks up a pistol. He picks up the gun, he points it at Abenzor. He looks at Hal Jordan and simply says that judgment is in progress. John Stewart is able to stop him from pulling that trigger. They saw what happened to everybody else. They don't want that to happen to Hal. With Hal taking the gun and putting it down at his side, Abenzor tells John Stewart to be without fear. And then he takes off to the sky, picking back up with Hal and Joe. That's where he got the gun from. It was Rita's gun. He never gave it to John like he was supposed to, turning his hand into a gun. He'd never gotten around to it, but he tells Joe that you gotta get out of here. That this thing, it's hungry, or something like hunger, something alien, but it wants to eat light. Any spectrum of light, it wants to absorb it, supersede it, overturn it. It wants to win the argument. Whatever this thing is, it is very old, saying that it should have been forgotten, it should have been weak, an idea nobody believes. But something fed it, something gave it a chance. Now it's everywhere, a little piece of everything. Hal Jordan is fighting it as hard as he can, but he doesn't want to listen to it. He doesn't want to, but it keeps telling him that he was right. Picking up a little bit later, we pick up with Joe, John, and Hal. They discuss everything that had transpired over the course of the last day or two. They think about all the things that they could have done differently, but telling Hal that maybe you weren't wrong. Whatever's happening here, whatever alien judgment is being levied upon them, he doesn't think anyone's coming to save them. So if it comes down to it, the question remains, do they want to take Abenzor out of the equation? Pulling out a wedding ring, John Stewart says he thinks he knows what he can do. The great engineer begins his work. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Now, this has yet to fully explain how the spectrum of light is working in this universe, but based off of what we have seen so far, it has less to do with central batteries and power rings, and more to do with an aura, like we saw surrounding Joe. The ring part, that might come into play with John Stewart. We see that Hal Jordan is the Black Hand. He doesn't really have a way of controlling this, but But maybe if he did, maybe if Jon Stewart gave him the power to be able to control it, then they could turn the tides. We already see that Abenzor doesn't give a shit about anybody. He's wiping people away left and right, whether they be innocent or not. They stand in his way, they die. We don't even know about Guy Gardner. Let's pray Guy Gardner's not dead. Let's pray they just took Guy Gardner away and that the Green Lanterns aren't actually psychopathic killers. But in this new universe, everything's a little bit darker. Everything's a little bit worse. The Black Stars are out there. Quite possibly the rulers of Oa. And if they are the rulers of Oa, then what was once known of the Green Lantern Corps no longer exists. The spectrum of light that exists in this universe is gonna be a whole other thing. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything going on with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.